decided to make a series of videos about my life as a medical student and the things that I experienced during my internships, because that's basically the only kind of life experience I'm having right now. So I thought, let's start with the basics. How does it feel like to go to the doctor? I've never been on the other side of the table as a patient. I haven't been to the doctor in over a decade, and I know I'm old as balls, but that's still a very long time. I honestly think that empathy is the key to being a good doctor and to retain your humanity during your career. So I was always a little bit worried that I wouldn't completely understand what it feels like for a patient to be sick, to come into an office or emergency department and not knowing what's going on and being worried and really want to know what's happening to yourself. So imagine my surprise when I suddenly found myself in this situation without going to a doctor's office. This is the story of how I wanted to get my bike fixed. The bicycle repair guy leisurely makes his way towards the entrance, ready to open the doors and start his office hours. And there I was standing, patiently waiting, no pun intended. What we usually start out with is asking patients what their problem is. What I usually notice is that the patient just completely jumps right in and has a story that is really chaotic. It takes a lot of time to actually figure out how everything happened. For some reason, patients usually don't really know what it is that you want to hear from them, so they'll end up with these weird kind of details that you really don't want to know about. Okay, so basically what happened, I think it started a couple of weeks ago, and it first started on the side of my right knee, but then it kind of went through the other side, and now I notice when I'm walking, not always when I'm walking, but especially when I'm jogging or when I'm trying to turn the corner, and it's like this weird clicking feeling on the other side, but then on the other side of my knee, on the front, I have like this weird kind of, it feels kind of like a pressing kind of sensation. Yeah, so the problem started, I think, about 2 days ago when I was cycling and it just felt like a creaking. I heard it too, and I think it comes from the front wheel. And what I notice is it doesn't start immediately. Like, it starts like approximately 10 to 20 minutes after I start cycling. And I notice when you put the steer to the left, like when you steer to the left, that's when I noticed you can actually make the sound appear. You know what I mean? Like when you steer to the left, and that's when it creaks. You also start noticing that they might have some kind of idea what's wrong with them, and usually they're right, and at other times it's just really adorably wrong. Like, I don't really, maybe you don't need to know, but what I thought maybe it was because I had quinoa just a while back. What us doctors want to do is we want to conduct a couple of tests, and if they are negative, at least we know you're not in any life-threatening danger and you're not going to drop that in our office. For patients, it's the other way around. They think by you doing the test, you're going to find a diagnosis. So you can imagine the horror they're experiencing when suddenly the pain or the weird kind of tick or the cracking or the whatever it is that they have suddenly doesn't appear anymore the moment that we start to examine you. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I can do this. This is not the problem. No, neither is this. No, it's just, no, it doesn't hurt. No, it doesn't hurt at all. It's just, I don't know, it's like the pain just comes up, like, no, but this is painless, it's completely pain. Yeah, yes, I swear it's there though. Of course, we always try to comfort them, like, oh, of course, that's just how it happens, you know, the moment you see the doctor, it always gets better. But I never truly experienced that kind of frustration until this happened to me. Oh yeah, now it doesn't make the maybe to spin the wheel. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, but it did actually make a noise just now. Like I just came, it started yeah. The third and sometimes the last part of your doctor's appointment is when the doctor tells you, we're not saying that you don't have any pain and we're trying to take you seriously, but we can't find the cause for it. So as of now, there's not really much that I can do. Well, based on the examinations, I can't really find any definite pathology of your pain problems. I mean, it's not an infection, it's not arthrosis or arthritis. It could be anything, but I'm kind of thinking it might be a muscle problem. So the only thing we can prescribe is painkillers and hope for the best. I could imagine the disappointment. Definitely I did. But it wasn't until this happened. Yeah, so nothing seems to be particularly wrong, especially not with the front grille, so I can't really figure out the noise that you're trying to describe. Didn't hear it. Then I could immediately understand the facial expression that some of those patients have. What do you mean, nothing? I have complaints like this every single day. It just goes on forever. I can't even function. I never know when my body's just about to give up on me. I'm like a ticking time bomb. Or I guess in my case. Nothing wrong, but the creaking. The creaking was there. Something with the chain fell off, then creak, creak, creak. Creak, 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 creak. Some people take that loss quite graciously and some people don't. So what patients usually try to do as sort of last resort is trying to tell what they would like to have done. Okay, well, what I actually was thinking is a friend of mine, they told me, and I also looked it up on Google, was the thing that you could put like injections inside of the knee and that would take the pain away. I was kind of hoping maybe that would be an option. And it's usually some kind of thing that they heard from a friend or they read on the internet, and sometimes it's completely bogus, and sometimes it's a very legitimate test, but just not for you. So it's not gonna fly. No, I'm sorry. We can only give those injections of corticosteroids when we can actually find a basis for an infection. In your case, it's not really there, so even if we gave one, it wouldn't help for the pain. And the thing is, I never completely understood why some people would actually do that. I mean, we probably thought of it ourselves, so why do you even try? Until, of course, actually, I heard from a friend of mine that you could, like, put some oil on it and the noise would just, disappear. Isn't that an option? No, bicycles that have been used for a while just tend to make noises after a while. It's nothing to be worried about. You can definitely just keep on cycling anyway. Oh. The only way we would know for sure is to open it up with an operation, but that usually only gives more damage than you bargained for. The only way we would know for sure is to open it up, but it usually gives a lot more damage than you bargained for. Oh. So what you need to learn from this video is it doesn't matter if you have a messed up knee or the chain of your bicycle keeps falling off as soon as you just as much as turn a corner. What you need to do is accept it if you cannot change it. Nah, I decided to buy a new bicycle. I mean, that drove me crazy.